Chris Level here with another edition of Pirate Talk. My man Colton Coons behind the camera taking care of us as always, and I'm pleased to be joined by our guy, man. He is like the all-knowing wrestling coach over at Lubbock Cooper High School, and he's a state champ. He's not wearing his ring right now, but yeah, he is responsible for a girls' state championship just this last academic year. So we thought we'd get him in here because wrestling is a 2-semester sport,
Yep.
and you guys are kind of in the midst of it right now. As we sit here and talk, you're actually about to take the girls' side to Oklahoma and all that. But first of all, how are you doing? How's the last year been for you?
Doing good. Been busy. Last year was kind of my first year that the kids wrestled Greco and freestyle, and so it seemed like the year never ended. So we went into a new style of season, and then we've just kept going all through the summer, and so it's been good. Took some rest when we needed it, but busy.
How many? As I mentioned, state champs on the girls' side. You have one of the top female wrestlers in the state of Texas, regardless of classification, weight class, whatever, and Taylor Silko.
Mm-hmm.
How much spotlight did that put on your program from the standpoint of growing it internally? Like more people interested in it, like from the middle schools or even some high school kids going, that's, like you tell me how that.
A little bit. You'd think, I thought it would have kind of done more. Taylor's a little scary too in herself. Just looking at her, right?
Yeah.
People are intimidated. But if you get to know her, she's just.
Oh, she's great. Yes, absolutely.
And so some people get scared, right? You see her, the muscles, all the things, but it's a little bit of both. I'd kind of say it seems like it's grown a lot at the middle school, just kind of on its own naturally. I don't, unfortunately, get the time to be there as much as I want to be, but this year with my first graduating class, I'm realizing that I should have been there a lot more. But we get a few kids here and there. I don't think it's just per se the attention. Yeah, I think they just kind of want to do it, and that's kind of the way I've always been. Because wrestling, it's a tough sport. And if you aren't really in it, it's kind of hard to keep you in it. And if you don't love it, if you don't want it, all the things, it's a very quittable sport, I've been telling my kids lately. And so
how many kids do you have in the high school, like all throughout, boys, girls, everything? How many total kids are in your program?
75, maybe 80. I got a lot of football guys this year.
Okay.
Some of those JV guys a lot more of them were willing to come over this year. So I had
translates.
Yes.
That translates, especially depending on what position you play.
Very much so. And we finish in February. Those guys can get back in time for Chip to get them.
Spring ball and all that. Yeah.
And do all the things. So it's just perfect. But this year wasn't really a year that I recruited heavy. And so I was just like, again, like if you want to be here, you'll come.
Okay.
And so, I had 30 guys before football, and I think I got about 20 when they came in. So we're at about 50, and then I had about 30 girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's still, what is this for wrestling at Cooper? This is year
4.
So total. Yeah. I mean, I knew it's still in its infancy, and that's why it's crazy that it's already a state championship trophy. How proud of you of that were you? Like at the end of the day, after you've had plenty of time to reflect, kind of pinching yourself a little bit. It probably happened way faster than you would have thought.
Yeah.
I mean,
big time. It was, Taylor drove home with me off of her state title and my first state title, right, as a team. And we were just kind of like, all right, what do we do now? And that's kind of what the conversation was all the way home. And it's felt that way, like not real. And I don't know. In my head, I have these goals, these standards, these things. And coming from the club scene and then coming into high school, I've always felt like I could make an impact fast, right? Year one, I remember with Coach Cat and Coach Sexton and me saying, no, we're going to wrestle varsity. And they're like, okay. And but I just knew, right? I'd been on the club scene for a couple years now, and then years before that, my club team had always made noise, but we were just kind of a hole in the wall. Nobody knew who we were, and you just never really know, right? Like if you're my athlete, and I am solely coaching you, right? And when you're the club coach, you're not really that. And so it's like, okay, is it like a mixture? Is it me? Is it all these things? And not selfishly, but like, you just got to question those types of things. But I always believed in myself, and I thought, hey, I think I'm pretty good at this. I think I'm blessed, highly favored. Just with
What I appreciate about you, though, is like you're very passionate and believe in what you do.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And I think that there's a lot of coaches that are like that.
Mm-hmm.
My vibe that I get from you is you're extra, like you are really into what you do and you really believe in it. And I think it shows. And your kids, compete that way.
Yes.
And I think that is the best compliment I guess I can give you. But remind everybody, because I think there's still plenty of people that are learning.
Okay.
That would be watching this, listening, whatever, that don't grasp all that comes with this deal. How many weight classes?
There's 12 for the girls and there's 14 for the boys.
Okay, and like
the range.
Yeah, the range.
So for the boys, it's from 106 all the way to 285.
Heavyweight.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then for the girls, it's 100 all the way to 235.
Okay.
And it's kind of like in increments of 5 to 7 pounds in there. And then when you get to the heavier weights for the girls, like it goes 152, 165, 185, 235. It kind of gets iffy for the girls.
One of the other times that you and I visited, because this is always you see things on the movies, you see things with the training and you gotta make weight, and then boxers and all this stuff. How much are you on that, or how strict do these kids have to be with themselves? And tell me about that aspect of you as a coach.
Yeah, I'm probably one of the most stressed coaches when it comes to those things. I got 14 kids when we're going to compete somewhere, like right now, right? Oklahoma has 14 girl weights. I got 14 girls that when we
So you have one in each class?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're taking 14. I got not only like, is this kid going to perform? Like before that, we have a battle before that. It's like, okay, is this kid going to be on weight? And are they doing their job? Do they understand all the things? Are they listening to me when I do take time to talk about nutrition, talk about diet? Some of them don't. It's like, hey,
that's just
buddy.
Kids.
Yes,
just
exactly.
Kids.
And it's funny because hey, if you drink this is a pound, right? And are you willing to work this pound off? Because that's going to be at least 30 minutes of good exercise for you to get a pound off. And that's sometimes some of the new kids, and they're like, well, I only drank 2 bottles of water and I just ate a cracker. Well, that's not good for you. Like you can't do that. But you also gain 2 pounds when you could have ate a 12-ounce steak, and you could add some real nutrients.
Yeah.
Where a lot of kids don't understand just like weight of food and all the things. But yeah, so I do have to take a lot of time, and especially like right now in the holiday season for us, like it's a grind, right?
Which is when your sport is.
Yeah, we just came off of Thanksgiving, and they were probably not as thankful, but they have to take it. That's just why most of the time you hear in UFC or martial arts, like wrestlers are different, right? Their mentality is different.
Has to be.
Yeah. Because from a young age, this is wrestling season right now for club season too, right? We overlap, and so there's little kids out there right now that probably got a little piece of turkey, a little bit of dressing. Which I don't condone. I don't think you should make young kids cut weight. But just from a young age, and right now through these holidays, we're practicing, we're doing all the things, and other kids are enjoying
when do kids have to weigh in before these meets to determine which class they fall into?
So we take a hydration test at the beginning of the year that protects the kids from bad coaches and asks them to lose too much weight. So UIL rule, boys can only get as low as 7% body fat. Girls can only get as low as 12% body fat. So right now I step on the scale, 165 pounds. They'll test my pee to see if it's hydrated at the same time that I weigh in. And so then they'll do a body fat percentage. And so they'll say, okay, you have 20% body fat right now. So I can get all the way down to 7. But within the window from now until a week before district, which you take it in October. So from October until a week before district, you'll get a sheet that says literally the next day 1, how much you can weigh. Day 2, how much you can weigh. And so it'll descend to your lowest weight. But if I weigh in at a heavier weight, then it resets. And then it tells me how much I can weigh in. Okay. So more or less, there's a lot. You know more or less what weight class you can weigh in as soon as the year starts. And so,
because kids are
yeah.
they're growing.
Yep.
They're hitting puberty. They're whatever. I mean, there's it's just nobody stays the exact same, especially when they're
Correct.
growing and you're hitting kids in the middle of growth spurts and all this
Exactly.
stuff.
So
Yeah.
after Christmas, we get a 2-pound allowance. So every weight class will get 2 pounds. So the 100-pound weight class is 102.
Okay.
We still call it 100 pounds, but it
Because
becomes 102.
it's like it's like a chemistry experiment,
Yes, sir.
as much as it is a sport.
Yes, sir.
If I'm brand new into your program
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a brand new wrestler, you have never coached me before. The first thing and the most important thing you would tell me would be what?
Show up every day.
Okay.
Be consistent. You got to have mat time. And that's the biggest thing. And then from there, learn a stance, and then I'll teach you a shot.
So be there every day, and then learn the basic stance. Yep. Okay.
And so from there, till this, I mean, there's
for the record, I'm helpless. He doesn't need to. Yeah,
I can make you a wrestler. There's Olympic gold medalists out there, hidden stance in motion. Right, so they're wrestling the air, and so they're just in a good stance. They're moving, visualizing. So that stuff's important.
Okay. How long do these meets last?
That's a good question. You're asking good questions. Yeah, so all day long. So and what's worse is like when we got to travel. So yesterday was good. It's a JV meet, so they kind of shortened the periods to 1 minute. But we're here 3:45 in the morning, or 4:45 in the morning. We are on the bus by 5. We left that tournament at 3. And so that was the whole day. So Randall Ruckus last Saturday, we had to be on the bus at 4. I think day 1 we finished 6:30.
Okay.
4 in the morning, 6:30, and then we did it again day 2, 4 in the morning, and we finished at.
I mean, it's there's some commitment here.
Yes, sir. Big time. Parents too. So
yeah, no doubt, absolutely. Okay, you 2-semester sport. I was asking you this before we started recording, but I'd rather have you explain it on the air so people can kind of hear. Everybody else has non-district games or whatever, and then you get into district, and that's going to decide whether you go to the playoffs and state and all the things that you're trying to achieve. Which for you guys will be after. When the calendar turns to 2025, that's in kind of January, February-ish, and then it wraps up. What have you done? What's the fall semester look like? Because you even said, like, it's kind of tricky because you can kind of have a non-district match between somebody depending on who we're going against. But kind of explain that to the layman out there that may not grasp how that works, what you're trying to get done in the fall.
So basically, every match is building towards district. More or less. And so, like, if I do run into an opponent who is in my district, it has even more importance, right? So if I wrestle a wrestler from Liberty, right? Liberty's in our district. We wrestle and they beat us and we don't see them again until district, then they have a head-to-head win over us. Or, say we see them 3 times, but the only one that matters is the last one. And so head-to-head wins are the most important thing. And so from there, you also got like a win percentage. So you'll get seeded based off of your win percentage. Just last year, or really 2 years ago, they kind of instilled this thing last minute at regionals, a seeding criteria. And so each wrestler will have a certain amount of points, right? And so, heck, I think Taylon's was like 300 and something last year just because she wrestled solid competition all year and won. But even for losing, if you lose the solid competition, like you get 4 points. I lost to last year's state champ, they give you 4 points, right? But if you just lose to
whoever,
and you get 0 points, right? And so then that affects your win percentage. So it's better to have meaningful losses. And so we try to see better competition and better teams. And like we just mentioned earlier, we're going to Oklahoma, I think, which it's a WLAG Invitational, so it's Wrestle Like a Girl Invitational, and so okay. that's a big organization in wrestling, okay. Trying to grow women's sports, and so it's like I think one of the biggest girls tournaments in Oklahoma, and so seeing some of that out of state competition is kind of the seeding or the ranking criteria is the same. So you beat a state champ from Oklahoma, they'll give you 30 points. You lose the one, it's the same thing. You get 4 points, but yeah, so it's kind of every tournament, every match, all the things have importance.
It's a lot of gray area. It's very involved. Is this you answered me this question? Is this a team sport or is this an individual sport?
It's both. It's both, and so that's the beauty of the thing. It makes all of it. You get everything from wrestling. It teaches you very much about life.
Sure,
Yep, and so when we go compete in Oklahoma, right? So if you don't do your job as an individual, then you kind of hurt the team a little bit. You get team points based on how you win a match and based off of you advancing further in the bracket. I made it to the quarters. I made it to the semis. You get advancement points. So if you win by a close match, it's just a decision. You get 3 points for the team. You win by a major, which is more than 7 points. You get 4 points for the team. You win by a tech fall, which is like a run rule in baseball, which is 15 points. They stop the match. That's 5 points. If I pin you, 6 points.
So you do have your kids rooting for each other.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty. People that have never been to one of these, it's very.
It's intense.
Yeah, like I don't know if the right word is animated, but it's very loud and emotional and. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Like I had somebody ask me, like, I mean, like if somebody's getting beat really bad, do they throw in the towel? And I mean, I was just like, well, no, I think you're, but because you'll have when's your meet that you host where you really go?
The 19th, December 19th. Okay. Come and see it. We're gonna have Dumas coming to town. They're a top team in the state.
The Demons.
Yep, Dumas Demons.
The Demons need to go down, but you bring out. Fog machines, or smoke machines, I should say, like lights, the music, the DJing, and it's a deal now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah. And I think that there's some pomp and circumstance to it. I think, which is what's fun, and I think your kids play off of that.
Oh yeah,
don't they? Yeah.
Big time.
Do they get to pick like a walkout song?
Yeah, they pick them all. They do all that stuff, and so they love it. They love senior night.
Oh, so that's what it is at senior night.
Yeah, this is our senior night.
Okay, okay.
December 19th.
Because you still have so much to go. That's what it's. Because how quickly will you get into it in January? Like when do you?
Right away. So we're going during Christmas break, January 3rd and 4th.
Stops. Okay.
January 3rd and 4th, we got a big girls tournament here in Texas. It's like the 29th annual Lady Horn Cap Rock Classic, and so then we're over there.
Okay.
And then the boys are going to Frisco for a dual tournament.
Okay. True or false? You were either coaching or wrestling or something, and you maybe suffered a knee injury. Is that true or false?
That is true.
Have you had a hard time living that one down?
A little bit, yes and no. Because it's
How severe was this injury?
Oh, I blew my ACL. The doctor said the thing was in pieces everywhere, all around my knee. He had to like vacuum on the medial side.
Was this like strictly from this particular issue, or is there something that happened maybe before?
If I'm being honest, my knee was beat already.
Yeah, okay.
And I've had like grade 2 sprains. And there's a lot of stuff wrong with that left knee.
So this was just the final straw.
More or less.
How long ago did this happen?
It was in August. It was in August.
So 5 months ago, 4 months ago, whatever. Are you on the other side?
Not yet.
Okay, so rehabbing? Oh, man. Coach Rios, you got to do the rehab. You got to practice what we preach here.
I'm trying to make more time, and now we're in the busy year.
So
I know. They know.
What did he tell me if I'm a brand new wrestler? The first thing he said, show up every day. Saying.
I hear you. The kids are already telling me. They're like, Coach, how are you gonna get back? What are you doing? Yeah. Come on, because they're chirping at me there.
Yeah, but you're also trying to teach and coach, and you've got a family and kids, and it's just I agree, but don't short yourself.
The time is to do it once I put the kids to bed.
Yeah,
put the kids to bed. I already got ankle weights now, so I can go through all the stuff.
Good.
But
okay.
I just have to be consistent. I've done it a couple times, but.
Yeah, you want to be one of those that like should have done it, and then like 20 years from now going, man, I don't have full flexibility or all that stuff, because that's when it plays out. Holidays coming up. What's Christmas look like for the Rios family?
So we're celebrating at our house this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you in charge of cooking?
No. So everybody brings a meal, or everybody brings. My sister texted us. I think it was last night.
What's your favorite? What's the go-to?
I just like my dad's turkey.
Okay.
Yeah, just simple.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not like we don't really do.
Plus, it's not going to put any extra weights on, so
Yeah.
you still make weight.
There you go.
Yeah,
See,
that's right. Yeah,
it's
lean.
we've kind of done it different throughout the years in my family because my mom works in the school district, and so she gets like 3 Thanksgivings before it's time for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So we've done like Italian and all kinds of just different meals, tacos, and just different stuff. Because my mom's like, I'm tired of the traditional. Let's change it up. So my dad, he'll oblige. He'll change it. And but yeah, just something simple. My dad's turkey. But yeah, so everybody's gonna bring a meal and they come over to the house and celebrate, have fun.
What does Coach Rios want for Christmas? If you were sitting on Santa's lap right now, you would ask for.
It'd have to be for my wife.
Okay, well that's okay too.
Yeah,
that's smart, man. She's probably gonna watch this.
She will. Yeah. She'll know. She'll laugh. But she's been on me. I
mean, are we a shoe guy? Are we what kind of hobbies that we've got off to the side?
Maybe a pair of wrestling shoes.
Okay.
Maybe a pair of wrestling shoes that could work. But no, I don't. There's nothing. It's all wrestling.
Okay.
All wrestling, and I'm simple. Wear my barefoot shoes, maybe some barefoot shoes.
Did you get a kick out of watching the Olympics back in the Olympic wrestling? Back in the summer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on Peacock or whatever you were watching it on. Yeah. I happened to be in Paris over there just a couple of weeks before the Olympics actually started, but we were right next to where the wrestling venue was. And I thought about you. I was just like, because I don't understand it. Like, and I don't, and especially at the Olympic side of it, like it's just
different.
Oh yeah,
it's confusing.
But I wondered if you would be paying attention to all that. No.
Oh yeah, it was
because who's the face of the sport?
Well,
like
so
whether it be high school or college or however you want to phrase it, who's the face of the sport right now?
So it was Jordan Burroughs.
Okay.
For a long while, he's getting a little older, but there's a lot of USA has really good guys.
Okay.
Amit Allure on the girls' side, she just became the youngest. I believe she was the youngest Olympic gold medalist this year. She's 20, I think, 21 maybe, but she's young. And the year before, she came off like 3 world titles.
Okay.
Different age groups.
Because it's some of the. Texas Tech doesn't have it. Obviously, we're located in Lubbock, but there's a lot of the Midwest schools, colleges. I've been up to Stillwater when there was like a wrestling meet, and it's insane. Iowa State. I mean, just right there in the central part of the U.S., wrestling is big,
huge.
Yeah, I mean, like selling out arena type stuff, like on college campuses and everything like that. And I just didn't grasp it until I saw it in person. But, because I think he may have gotten some trouble, so maybe I should have mentioned his name, but was it like AJ Ferrari or something?
Yeah, he was at Oklahoma.
He was a big time. Oklahoma State?
He did, yes, sir.
Okay.
And, they just hired David Taylor, so that's making some noise in the college scene. He was from Penn State, so Penn State's like the dynasty right now. They've won 12 out of the last 13 national championships.
Okay.
And David Taylor was a Penn State guy.
Okay.
And John Smith was at Oklahoma State, who was...
You could totally be making these names up.
Yeah, right.
John Smith, David Taylor. I'm like, you could totally be making these names up, and I'm just going to be like, yeah, sure. Yeah.
John Smith was, before Jordan Burroughs tied him, or I think he beat him. I think maybe he just tied him, but John Smith was the greatest American wrestler. Most gold medals, most world titles, all that stuff. He just retired, and they hired David Taylor for a lot of money, and they brought him from Penn State. And so then he took guys from Penn State. And so now it's like, okay, it's kind of spreading. We're diversifying here, and we're gonna. It's not just gonna be a Penn State thing forever, because they could have divided their team in half last year and still won the national championship.
Wow,
that's my goal.
Yeah, I bet so. I bet so. Well, it's singlet season, is what Coach Rios is going to tell you, and that will spill over into the holidays and the New Year and all that stuff. Phenomenal coach. He is a state champ. He has got one of the best athletes in the state, regardless of sport classification, all that stuff, and Taylor Silko, and many other really good athletes, up and comers, and ones that are established, and all that. Didn't want to make it just about Taylor, but man, I enjoy my time with you always. We could sit here for hours and hours, but. We will try to catch you maybe early in the spring semester, kind of maybe before it gets real serious for you guys and all that, and kind of update everybody on more specifics with your team and all that stuff. But Coach Rios, Merry Christmas, Happy
Christmas.
holidays. Go Pirates.
Yes, sir.
Lady Pirates too,
Yes,
or
sir.
we just
Yeah,
Pirates?
Lady
We're just
Pirates.
Okay, yeah. Show up every day, right?
There you go.
Even Coach Rios with his rehab. Okay,
Middle
show up,
schoolers,
yeah, show up.
keep wrestling.
Yeah, middle schoolers keep wrestling. All
There
that.
you
Yeah,
go.
because the middle school meets are wildly
Yes.
attended too.
Yes.
Big time events. Maybe more so than even some of the football games. Even it's just there's
They
a
get
lot.
out there.
Yeah, a lot
Indoor
going on.
sports are a lot easier to sell the tickets.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't
And
have to sit out in the cold.
sit out in the cold and
I'll
the
shoot
wet
my
weather in
pitch
the
right
wind.
now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. He's always be recruiting. ABC. Yeah,
There
that's
you
right.
go.
All right. For Chris Lovell, for Coach Rios, for Colton Coons, happy holidays and go Pirates.